Let the countdown begin when there's people land. Time starts for none, got no time to slack. Lost in the slums till they brought me back. I'm over the hold, about to... Hey, what's up guys? This is I Am Preach. Welcome to I Am Preach TV. I just wanted to take the time to just welcome you and thank you for taking the time to check out my YouTube channel. So what I'm starting to do is this new thing called Beneath the Flow. So for those of you who follow my music or on my Instagram, I just released a new album. It's called The Vision 2020. And I just want to thank you guys for all the feedback I've gotten. I've gotten really good feedback and I'm just really excited. I actually don't plan on recording anything for a while because I really want to take the time to dive in and explain this album. And I really want to take the time to go out, starting with my city and then the state of Arizona, and just taking it out there and seeing where God takes me with this album, because I feel like there's a lot of good stuff in it that needs to be shared, lots of positive messages in it that needs to be shared with the world. So that's my vision for it. But if this is your first time here, I wanted to welcome you and I wanted to introduce myself. So basically this thing called Beneath the Flow, I'm going to be taking you through some of my favorite songs, and we're going to be talking about why I like this one, what it was that really made me want to write this, where I was at the time. There's a backstory to each song, but I'm going to just start by showing you some of my favorite ones. But even before that, let me just introduce who I am. So I go by the name I Am Preach. That wasn't always my name. When I first started music, a little bit over 10 years ago, about 12 years ago now, yeah, I started with the name Preacher Man. And the way I got that name was I was in a bowling alley one day with some friends of mine, and it was one of those bowling alleys that like late night, you know, they turn on the lights, they have a DJ, so it's real fun. And I was 12, so I was just excited to be out that late. It was fun. And I was there with some really good friends of mine, and this guy walks up to me and he's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "What does that even mean? I didn't grow up like that. I don't know what that means." I had a red shirt on. Apparently he didn't like the color red. And I'm like, "I'm from here? I don't know." And he's like, "Yeah, well, you know, I'm from Tucson." And I'm like, "Okay, it's cool. What does that mean?" And he starts telling me about his past and a lot of the things he's done and how these youngsters have no respect, and I could just stab you right now if I wanted to. And I'm like, "What the heck is, bro, I'm just trying to bowl. What, why are you trying to stab me?" And at that moment, I felt the Lord just telling me, you know, I felt the Holy Spirit leading me, just say like, you know, ask him if he knows Jesus. And I'm like, "What the heck? I'm worried about my life right now." Okay. And I asked him, like, "Do you know Jesus?" And how many of you know that at the name of Jesus, that the demons shudder? So whatever this guy was dealing with, whatever demons that he had going on in his own life, things kind of shut down when I mentioned the name Jesus. And he's like, yeah, I know Jesus. Yeah, once upon a time ago. Yeah, I used to know him." And then at the same time, I'm feeling the Holy Spirit leading me to talk to this guy more about it. Because trust me, in my own flesh, I'm not trying to be around this guy. I'm looking for security. They didn't have security at the bowling alley. So I started talking to him more. And towards the end of the night, I mean, I'm praying for this guy. I'm speaking truth over his life. His family's there. They're just kind of confused because this guy is obviously drunk. And now he's over here in tears because we're talking about his life. He obviously had a lot of pain inside and he didn't know how to express it. So his way of expressing it was through being dominant and I can take you if I wanted to. And I'm like, "You probably could. I'm 12 and you're like 40. And you know, but I had the Spirit of the Lord upon me that night, and we were praying, and next thing you know, this guy's confessing his sins, and he's like, "God, I'm sorry." And his whole life was changed. It was awesome. And so he kept calling me Preacher Man that night. He kept saying, "Preacher Man this, Preacher Man that. You know what, Preacher Man, I just want to let you know." So at that time, I'm getting into music, because that's when I started. I was about 12. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I like that name, Preacher Man. It means something to me. So up until a couple years ago, probably about 3 years ago now, I got the name I Am Preach. Now, I had Preacher Man for the longest time, and then I Am Preach came to me, and I'm like, okay. And this is where I get it from. So Exodus chapter 3, verse 14. I'm reading from the New King James Version. It says, "And God said to Moses, I am who I am." And that's because Moses is asking him, well, because God was telling him to go back to Egypt because Moses had fled from Egypt. For those of you who know the story, because he had killed an Egyptian trying to protect one of his own. And out of fear, he fled, out of fear for his life. Now God's telling him to go back so he can tell Pharaoh, let my people go. And Moses is asking him like, well, God, what do I say when they ask who sent you? And he's saying right here, and God said to Moses, I am who I am. All right. So this whole story with Moses is, the backstory is, I mean, he's this guy who fled because he did wrong. You know, sin keeps us away, and he doesn't want to go back. And he just feels like he's not worthy enough to do anything, like God can't use me. I try to do something, but the thing is, he did it by his own strength. He did it by his own will, and he did it his way. And so many times that's what we want to do. We want to do things our way. Even in music, it's like, okay, cool. If I get this many followers, if I get this many fans, if I sell this many CDs, you know, it's like I'm trying to do it my way. No, it's God's way. Because when God appeared to him in the burning bush, he gave him instructions. Because Moses had all these excuses of why he couldn't go, why he couldn't do what God wanted him to do. And so many times we do the same thing with God. Like, well, I can't really do this right now, God, because I'm too busy, or I don't have enough money to do this, or we always have excuses after excuses. And God is saying right here, you tell them that I sent you. And when they say who, you say, I am who I am. So for me, the name I am Preach, because remember, I came from the name Preacher Man, and I just shortened it up. Okay, sorry, it looks like my my GoPro shut down. The devil don't want me to get this out. We're gonna keep rolling. All right, so anyways, where was I? Yeah, so I came from the name Preacher Man, so I just shortened it up to Preach, right? And the name I am, I put before that. I am Preach because I wanted to always remind myself that the great I am comes before me. His name comes before not my name. He must increase, I must decrease. So many times in music and being on a platform and in stage, it's so easy to just soak it up when people are feeling your music. And it doesn't even have to just be hip hop. I mean, you could be on the worship team and just you singing your heart out and you know you sound good. And people are feeling it, their hands are raised. Because the same thing in hip hop, what do you tell them? Hands up. But that's praise. And if we're not careful with that, we start taking it for ourselves. We start flattering ourselves. And who fell for that? Satan, Lucifer. He fell for that. He was the one who was in charge of music in heaven. He was the one that the praises were going through him. The Bible describes his body as having musical instruments in them. So I mean, he was receiving all of that, and his job was to send it to God and to worship God, and instead he wanted that for himself. And so we have to be careful with that. So for me, just me being human, it's so easy when people cheer you on and they encourage you and tell you all these good things about yourself and your music. It's easy to be like, oh, thanks, bro, like, and just keep that for yourself. But you must always give the glory back to God. He's the one who put the gifts inside of you. He's the one who gave you that passion. He's the one who made a way for you to do what you're doing. And so for me, it's just a constant reminder that I am comes before Preach, always. So that's a little bit about my name. And, you know, the reason why I do music is because that's the gifting and the passion that God's put inside of me. And also, I wasn't good at sports. But no, that's not why. I had a love for music and a passion for it. And that's something God put inside of me. Now, the vision, the album, The Vision, it's just talking about what I see, the vision that God has put inside of me, for not just the way that the world is, but the direction that he wants me to go, right? Because sometimes the way that we see the world isn't the way that God sees the world. And so the vision is like, God, show me the way things are through your eyes. Show me how you see things. And so I start off the album with the song called The Vision, and that just kind of sets the tone for the whole album. And the first thing I say is, I'm not trying to settle for a 9-to-5 while I'm alive. Well, that's not a jab towards people who make an honest living and work that 9-to-5, because there's a lot of honor in that. What I'm saying is, God, you put a vision inside of me. You put these desires inside of me, so I can't just settle for what's safe. Now, wisdom would say, like, yeah, you have to have some sort of income coming in, especially if you got a family to provide for. You can't just say, I quit, see you later, I'm out. I'm gonna go be a rapper full time. It's not like that. But what I am saying is, God, I'm gonna be still and know that you are God. I'm gonna keep doing my thing on the side, the way that you'll have me do it, while I'm still working that 9 to 5, and I'm gonna be working unto the Lord until that time when you have me go do what you want me to do full time. Okay, guys, yeah, so just a little bit introduction of who I am and what I'm doing. And so at the end of this video, I'm gonna be playing the first song of the album in case you haven't heard it. It's called Division. Check it out. Leave me some comments. So this Beneath the Flow is gonna be a thing for a while. So be sure to ask questions. Let me know what you think. I love feedback all the time. Constructive feedback is always welcomed. And yeah, let's grow together. Let's do this. So have a great day. Take care. God bless.
My next number, perhaps the most famous classic in all the world of music, world of music, world of music, world of music.
Yeah.
I'd like to return.
We're gonna get real for a minute. Yeah, ain't tryna settle for a 9 to 5 while I'm alive. I'm passing 25, still tryna get it right. My mind rattles, every day is a battle. Inside my head, too many thoughts that I wrestle. Just wanna be a vessel, I don't wanna settle or change my mind like a tassel. It's such a hassle, worries piling up like a castle. Afraid to hit the gas and just go. Afraid to chase all the dreams that you put in my soul. So many voices in my ear telling me who to be, telling me where to walk and everything to believe. I'm trying to monitor myself, I gotta monitor myself. This is killing my health, cause they done filled me with doubt. And now I'm second guessing if you plan to prevail. I'm thinking things will go south. If by faith I step out, my logic and reason has me screaming aloud. Lord, I made you a vow, I'm not trying to back down.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I gotta try. Gotta use everything that you put inside. Gotta keep pushing, gotta keep moving. Gotta press on no matter what they're doing. I don't wanna wake up in the same cup, in the same way that I laid up. Time to shape up, prayed up, keep my faith up till I reach the finish line. Homie, I ain't gave up.
Some will try, some will fail. I will not, I'll prevail. Keep on pushing till the end. I've been called, so I shall. Stand up tall, hold my ground. Hold it down till I'm down. 6 feet off the ground. Let your glory be abound. You see, I know what I love, and I know what I hate. I hate the mistakes that I continue to make. You see, my fate is too great for me to contemplate. That's why I walk by faith. I only go where you say. That's why the devil distracts, trying to get me off track. Always trying to attract, so in the end he attacks. I done been around the block a time or two. I'm sick of running circles. It's time to pack up and move. I can't get caught in the loop. That's how time will just move. Before you know it, it's gone, and then your time is just through. Don't wanna get to your throne, wishing I would've known what you wanted from me in this world when I roam. Lord, I'm standing right here, so let your vision be clear. Let your purpose succeed. I can't get caught up in fear. You put this hunger inside that I cannot deny. The only way that I'll fail is if I don't ever try.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I gotta try. Gotta use everything that you put inside. Gotta keep pushing, gotta keep moving. Gotta press on no matter what they're doing. I don't wanna wake up in the same cup, in the same way that I laid up. Time to shape up, prayed up, keep my faith up till I reach the finish line. Homie, I ain't gave up.
Some will try, some will fail. I will not, I'll prevail. Keep on pushing till the end. I've been called, so I shall. Stand up tall, hold my ground. Hold it down till I'm down. 6 feet off the ground. Let your glory be abound. So keep on doing your thing, and I'ma keep doing mine. I'll keep on seeking his face until the end of the line. Until he calls my name. Everything is a grind. I'm content but never settled. Lord, you keep me aligned. I keep my faith up, staying prayed up till my day's up. Taking nothing to the grave, but just this flesh I possess. It ain't nothing but dirt. No stress to impress. I ain't a part of this earth. I was sent to this land to build a bridge in this gap. That's my purpose in life, but they don't understand. I know you mean well, but you ain't gotta worry. My vision's clear, homie, and know the journey's blurry. I keep on sticking to the word till the day I emerge. His timing is perfect. I won't rush it. I've learned there's a time to keep on, and there's a time to be still. Won't be living in fear. I'ma trust His will.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I gotta try. Gotta use everything that you put inside. Gotta keep pushing, gotta keep moving. Gotta press on no matter what they're doing. I don't wanna wake up in the same cup, in the same way that I laid up. Time to shape up, prayed up, keep my faith up till I reach the finish line. Homie, I ain't gave up.
Some will try, some will fail. I will not, I'll prevail. Keep on pushing till the end. I've been called, so I shall. Stand up tall, hold my ground. Hold it down till I'm down. 6 feet off the ground. Let your glory be abound.